Greetings to another video. I'm back in the UK and I need to sort out my gravel bike because it's been neglected, and I have Dirty Reiver coming up this weekend, which is a 200-kilometre gravel event up in Kielder. So I was like, yeah, I definitely need to sort the bike out because it's just been kind of left a little bit. So what this video is going to be, I'm going to show you how I clean, prep, and everything that I'm going to take actually for a gravel event. So if you need some, I don't know, encouragement to sort out your gravel bike, or you just want to know what to take if you are new to gravel for like mechanicals and things like that, then it's going to be all in this video. Also, Tyre are a sponsor of Dirty Reiver, and luckily for me, they have sponsored this video. I have been using their cleaning products for a while, but they've sent me an extra one that I'm very excited to try because I've never seen anything like it before. So yeah, they have sponsored this video, so thank you so much to them. So I reckon let's just get out and clean the bike. So I just basically wet my bike down and then use the bike cleaner. It's vegan, it's bio, it's cruelty free, and just dissolves a lot of the dirt and rubbish that you get when you're riding off-road. There's two different ways of spraying it. So there's like a blast spray, which is this one, so you get really direct, or the spray mode, which is like really wide and like a fine mist. Now I'm using the citrus degreaser, which is also biodegradable. I basically just spray it onto the cloth when I'm cleaning the chain, and that just honestly gets rid of all the grease that's on there. So yeah, nice and clean. And then I just clean my bike down again just with water. And then we get onto the disc brake cleaner. I've only just started using this recently, and it is so good when you see the dirt at the end that this takes off. It's fast drying, it's non-corrosive, and it basically helps the responsiveness of your disc brakes, because if they're clean, they're going to work better. Definitely invest in some of this. Look how much dirt has come off that. And then we get on to the Rapid Ceramic Shield. So this is the new product. I've not used this before, so I'll let you know how I get on with it. Basically, you spray it on. There's two different cloths. So you spray it onto a damp cloth, wipe that onto your frame, and then buff it off with the fluffier towel on the left. And what this does, it's basically like creates a hydrophobic like coating on your frame. So then it helps repel mud, water, like tree sap. That's going to help it just basically slide off the frame, so it's going to keep your bike protected and cleaner. Also, it's suitable for matte, gloss and natural finish, because my bike is matte, and so I was a little bit like, oh, can you use it on all frames? And you can. So that I'm just buffing it off, and I will let you know how I get on with it after Dirty Reiver. And then we get onto a sealant, and this one is environmentally friendly. It's really good, and you should be replacing, I'm just actually taking the removing the inner core from the valve. Yeah, you should be replacing or topping up your sealant between like every 6 and 9 months. This Tight one says it lasts up to 9 months, and yeah, this is how you actually use it. So you take the cap off, unscrew that, pop that in the end of the nozzle, and that just goes onto your valve. So you don't have to mess around like removing your, like unseating your tyre. So this is just like a much simpler, quicker way to do it. It depends on what size your tyre is. It's got like different measurements on the bottle, so you can actually see like how much you should be putting in for your size tyre. Just putting the inner core back in. I do tighten that up better when I'm not filming. So now I'm just going to pump up the tyre, and the PSI that you put in it is completely up to you and depends on the terrain that you're going to be riding on. And then you just want to spin your tyre around so that the sealant gets fully dispersed within the tyre. Next thing you might find a bit weird, but this is how I like to make sure my chain's dry before I put lube on it. And so now I'm going to be using Tyre Ceramic Lube. This is for wet and dry conditions. I don't really know what the weather's going to be like the day of Dirty Reiver, so I'm just playing it safe and using this one. And this one has got nanoparticles in the liquid, so it basically seals any little gaps between like the chains and the pins. So, and also creates like a hydrophobic coating, kind of like the stuff that I've sprayed on the frame. So then it gives better chain performance and better resistance to like dirt and mud that you're going to potentially pick up when you're riding. Right, let me just add, because I know some people will comment my cassette is still a little bit grubby. I noticed it when I was putting the lube on. I was like, oh, I should really go out and clean it, but it started raining now. So later on I'm going to go and put degreaser on it and then use, where is it? I've got a really good brush. Oh, brush on the sprocket, so I will clean it. I will, because I know there'll be comments. So now we're going to talk about, I'm going to share like what I'm actually taking with me for the ride, like repair kit, toolkit. First thing is inner tube, because even though I'm running tubeless, you just never know. So always take an inner tube. Next thing is, you've heard me harp on about this so many times, mech hanger. Just take one, just find the one for your frame, always keep it with you, and that's the specific one for this bike. Next thing is pump, little hand pump, and I've always said just use hand pumps, you don't need CO2. However, I am taking a CO2 because I had this once happen on a ride, basically, and this is why I realised I needed sealant in my tyres because I didn't have any. Basically, we couldn't get the tyre to seat without CO2, so I had to borrow someone else's. Well, I didn't actually do it. They put the CO2 in and that made it seat, so I always take that now on like off-road rides. Toolkit, so this is a well-type one actually. This is really, really clever. It's like a little metal tube, and I've actually already set one up in it. So basically this is, I don't even know what, I think it's like called bacon strips, but I'm not sure. But basically that is there so that if you get a puncture or like a hole in your tyre, you just basically plug it with that, and there are, I'll show you actually, it unscrews from the other end. There's some more extra little bits in there, but I always have one ready to go. And then there's also like a little knife so that when you actually plug it and there's like a little bit of the, like a little bit of that sticking out of the tyre, then you just kind of cut it so that it's smooth and flush against the tyre, because if it leaves hanging out, it might pull out when you're riding. So definitely take a repair kit with you like that. And then the other thing is chain links. Always take chain links. I always have, it's so small, so tiny, and if your chain snaps, then yeah, you've got those. Also, I don't know, where is that? Oh, it's over there, one sec. And then a multi-tool. This is a toe peak one, really like this one. Yeah, it's got a chain breaker on it and just all the stuff that you need. So, oh, also, I've not even got that out as well. This is why I'm doing it now, because I'm so underprepared. A tyre boot, that's the tyre boot. So basically this is just kind of like fabric that you would glue on the inside. I mean, you don't have to glue it, but ideally glue it on the inside, so if your tyre tears, then you've got something to actually repair the tyre with. I feel so much more prepared now, so yeah, I'm very excited to be able to share the actual day of Dirty Reiver with you next week. Let me know if any of you are going to be there. Be lovely to meet some of you. Come and say hello. And I think that's pretty much it. I'll leave a link to all the stuff that I mentioned in the description box. Thanks again to Well-Type for sponsoring this video, and they will have a stand there. Actually, I was speaking to Ed, the guy from Well-Type, and he's going to be manning the Well-Type stand. So go and have a look at some of the products, go and have a little play with some of them, and yeah, I will see you all next video.